little bird friends, Peep the chicken, Quack the duckling, and Chirp the baby robin were on their way from Green Island to see the big, wide world. Peep was the navigator, Quack was the outboard motor, and Chirp was the passenger. As they happily paddled along, they struck Pierre, the cautious turtle. "Who are you?" asked Quack. "I am Pierre, and I am a very careful turtle," Pierre answered with his French accent. "Will you take us to the big wide world?" asked Peep. Pierre was shocked. "Me? Oh, I would not go near that place myself. But if you wish, I will take you to the shore." "The big wide world is that way, but do be careful." "Why, what can happen?" asked Peep. "You could be turned upside down." Peep was not afraid of being upside down. She was born that way. "Come on, let's go." "Thanks for helping us," said Peep to Pierre. Bon voyage. They'd not gone very far when Peep tripped over a ladybug. "Oh, excuse me," said Peep. "Who do you think you are?" grouched the ladybug. "I'm Peep. Quack and Chirp and I are going to see the big wide world." "Don't you know it's impossible to stand on only 2 feet?" said the ladybug, who had 6 feet herself. Peep wondered about that. Maybe 2 feet are not enough. She looked over to her friends. The other birds wondered about this too. So much so that they all got dizzy and fell leaning against one another. Then they tried to walk away. Suddenly a spider appeared. "Don't you know that it's unsafe to walk on only 6 legs? You must have 8 legs to walk." The bird friends looked at each other. "This is ridiculous," said Chirp. "And we're big enough birds to walk on our own 2 feet." Huh. So off they went. In front of them sat a big frog. "Rabbit?" Peep stepped forward nervously and said, "Is this the way to the big wide world?" The frog blinked thoughtfully and said, "Yes, excuse me, no, ribbit." Peep was puzzled and said, "Well, which way is it then?" To the right, do pardon me, left, The bird friends are really confused now. Quack asked, "Is it along the water? Or over the hills?" "Well, the best way to the big wide world is to go along the water." Oh, do forgive me. Over the hills. Do forgive me, please. Quack said to Chirp, I told you we go along the water. No, said Chirp, the way is over the hills. Along the water. Over the hills. Water. Hills. Water. Hills. Water. Hills. Hey, 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 maybe we should go. Just then the wind blew. Through the air. The wind blew them up over the hills, through the forests, across the water, and along the plains until whoop, 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 they ended up against a wall. Peep, said Peep. Quack, said Quack. Chirp, said Chirp. Chirp, who knew a lot of things, pointed and said, It's a wall. As they looked at it, 3 strange creatures appeared, creeping up it ever so slowly. Now who is that? Whispered Quack. They had seen many things, but never anything like this. The creatures grew and grew and grew into big monsters. The monsters swallowed up the wall, and then the whole big, wide world. They couldn't see anything. I'm cold, said Chirp. I'm scared, said Quack. I'm tired, said Peep. And they huddled together and shivered. The bird friends wished they had never left Green Island. Suddenly the whole big black world shook. Chirp shouted, Earthquake! Boom! Boom! Run, shouted Quack. It's a huge cat. No, that's not a cat, it's a dog, said Chirp. The big dog noticed the poor little birds were afraid and said, Come into my house. A moment later, they were all snuggled together, and she said, I'm Nellie, the country dog. Now the birds were no longer afraid and started asking questions. Who were the 3 monsters on the wall? Well, maybe they was your own shadows. Why did the whole big wide world go black? Because the sun went down. Who is the sun? The sun is the big fireball in the sky that shines on the big wide world. Where does the sun go when it goes down? Said Quack. It goes around and comes up again tomorrow. Well, what does the big wide world look like? Asked Peep. It's round, like this ball. How big is the big wide world? Who makes the wind blow? Were you born up in a tree? Can you swim? Does the sun have a mother? The birds kept asking more and more questions until suddenly they noticed Nellie was asleep. They looked out on the night sky from their cozy doghouse. The sky was full of stars. Peep said, "Look at that." "Who is that?" asked Quack. Chirp, who knew a lot of things, said, "It's the moon." "What is the moon?" asked Peep. They all looked at it for a while, and then Quack said, "I think it's a big egg." Peep said, "And maybe the big wide world is a big egg too." This seemed such a good idea that Peep and Quack and Chirp all fell sound asleep in the cozy house of Nellie, the country dog.